The stadium is already alive. Flags wave through the air. Thousands of voices rise together, carrying the hopes of an entire nation. And once again, every camera finds the same man. Lionel Messi. For most players, winning the biggest trophies would finally silence every question. But for Messi, it never did. Every time he wears Argentina's shirt, the pressure returns. Millions expect another unforgettable moment. Millions believe history can happen again. This isn't just the story of football's greatest icon. It's the story of a boy who refused to surrender, a captain who carried heartbreak for years, and a man whose journey still inspires the world. To understand why one player continues to carry the hopes of an entire country, we have to go back to where it all began. Rosario, Argentina, was never the easiest place to grow up, but for one small boy, every street became a football field. While other children simply played for fun, Lionel Messi already seemed happiest whenever the ball was at his feet. Football wasn't just a game. It was where he felt completely free. His family noticed that passion long before the rest of the world did. They supported him through every small success and every difficult day. But just as his dream started growing, life presented an obstacle no child should have to face. Messi was diagnosed with a growth hormone deficiency. Without expensive treatment, his football dream could disappear before it had truly begun. His parents searched for help, but the cost was far beyond what the family could afford. For a moment, it seemed talent alone wouldn't be enough. Then something unexpected happened. Thousands of kilometers away, Barcelona saw something special in the quiet young boy from Rosario. The club offered him a chance that could change everything. But accepting it meant leaving his home, his friends, and almost everything he had ever known. Imagine being just a child, stepping onto a plane with your future resting on a single opportunity. There were no guarantees. No promises. Only hope. Messi arrived in Spain carrying far more than a suitcase. He carried the dreams of his family and the belief that every sacrifice would one day be worth it. But leaving Argentina was only the beginning. The real challenge was waiting for him on the other side of the world. At Barcelona's famous academy, Messi quickly realized that talent alone wouldn't be enough. Every young player had a dream. Every one of them believed they could become the next superstar. Standing out meant proving himself every single day. The new country felt unfamiliar. The language, the culture, and the expectations were completely different from the life he had left behind. Yet instead of letting fear control him, Messi allowed football to speak for him. Little by little, coaches began to understand they were watching someone extraordinary. His size made many people underestimate him. But every time the ball reached his feet, doubt slowly turned into amazement. Every training session pushed him a little closer to the dream that once seemed impossible. While others saw a quiet teenager, Barcelona was beginning to see a player who could change the future of the club forever. As the years passed, Messi didn't simply become part of the first team, he became its heartbeat. Records that had stood for decades started to disappear. Defenders struggled to stop him. Fans filled stadiums hoping to witness something magical, because with Messi on the pitch, the impossible often became reality. One unforgettable season followed another. League titles, Champions League triumphs, Ballon d'Or awards, and countless breathtaking moments turned him into one of the most recognizable athletes on earth. Children copied his celebrations. Young footballers dreamed of wearing the number 10 because of him. Around the world, Lionel Messi had become more than a footballer, he had become an inspiration. But here's where things get interesting. The higher Messi climbed with Barcelona, the louder one question became. If he was the greatest player in club football, why hadn't he brought the same glory to Argentina? Every international tournament brought the same expectations. Every missed opportunity brought the same criticism. No matter how many trophies he lifted in Spain, millions believed his legacy would always feel incomplete until he led his country to the biggest prize. That pressure followed him everywhere. It wasn't created by opponents. It came from history, from the weight of Argentina's football tradition, and from fans who desperately wanted another hero like Diego Maradona. The problem was that greatness at club level could never fully silence those comparisons. And without realizing it, Messi was walking toward the most emotional and painful chapter of his entire career. The battles ahead would have nothing to do with adapting to a new country or proving his talent. They would test his heart, his resilience, and his love for the Argentina shirt in ways no one could have imagined. Every time Lionel Messi returned to wear Argentina's colors, the expectations felt even heavier. The world didn't judge him by great performances anymore. It judged him by one question: could he finally lead Argentina to glory? Tournament after tournament, hope turned into heartbreak. Each defeat hurt more than the last. The headlines grew harsher. The comparisons with Diego Maradona became impossible to escape. To many fans, being the world's greatest club player still wasn't enough. But the real battle wasn't taking place on the pitch. It was happening inside Messi himself. He carried the disappointment of an entire nation on his shoulders. Every missed opportunity felt personal. Every final that slipped away added another scar to a career that already seemed perfect from the outside. The applause became quieter, while the criticism grew louder. Then came the moment that shocked the football world. After another painful international defeat, Messi announced his retirement from Argentina. For a moment, it seemed the story would end not with celebration, but with heartbreak. Millions of supporters couldn't believe that the boy from Rosario, who had given everything for his country, might never wear the Argentina shirt again. But sometimes the darkest moments become the beginning of something extraordinary. As time passed, Messi realized his journey with Argentina wasn't finished. His teammates believed in him. His family stood beside him. And millions of fans who had once criticized him now begged him to return. So he made one of the biggest decisions of his career. He came back. Not because the pressure had disappeared, but because giving up was never the ending he wanted. Deep inside, he still believed there was one chapter left to write. The question was no longer whether Messi was one of the greatest footballers in history. The real question was whether destiny was finally ready to reward years of sacrifice, heartbreak, and unwavering determination. No one could have predicted that the next chapter would change not only Messi's legacy, but the emotions of an entire nation. Years of heartbreak had taught Lionel Messi something that trophies never could. Greatness wasn't about avoiding failure. It was about finding the strength to stand up every single time life knocked you down. When he returned to Argentina, something felt different. He was still the captain, still the leader, but now he carried himself with a quiet confidence. He no longer played to silence critics. He played for his teammates, for his family, and for the dream that had followed him since the streets of Rosario. Little by little, everything began to change. Argentina became more united. The players fought for each other. The supporters believed again. The painful memories that had haunted Messi for years slowly started to lose their power. Then came the moments the football world had been waiting for. After so many disappointments, Messi finally lifted major international trophies with Argentina. The celebrations spread across the country. Streets filled with singing fans. Tears replaced criticism. The same people who had once questioned him now celebrated him as a national hero. But what made those victories so powerful wasn't the trophies themselves. It was everything that came before them. Without the painful defeats, the criticism, and the moments when he almost walked away, those celebrations would never have carried the same meaning. Every setback had become part of the journey that shaped him into the leader the world admired. Most people thought this was the perfect ending. But football stories rarely end so neatly. Winning changed how the world looked at Messi, yet it also created a new kind of pressure. Now, every time he stepped onto a World Cup pitch, fans expected another unforgettable moment. The burden hadn't disappeared, it had simply changed. The question was no longer whether Lionel Messi could redeem himself. The question had become something even bigger. Why does the entire football world still stop and watch whenever Lionel Messi plays? The answer goes far beyond goals, assists, or trophies. By this stage of his career, Lionel Messi had already become something much bigger than a football player. Across every continent, children wore his number on their backs. Families stayed awake late into the night just to watch him play. Even rival fans understood they were witnessing one of the greatest athletes the sport had ever produced. That is why every World Cup feels different when Messi is on the field. People aren't simply watching another match. They are watching a living chapter of football history. Every touch of the ball carries years of memories. Every run reminds fans of the young boy who once left Rosario with nothing but hope and an impossible dream. For a new generation, Messi is the reason they fell in love with football. For older generations, he is proof that greatness is built through patience, sacrifice, and resilience, not talent alone. And that is why, before every World Cup match, the spotlight naturally returns to him. Millions wonder if another unforgettable moment is about to happen. Not because they expect perfection, but because Messi has spent an entire career creating moments that seemed impossible. Now, another World Cup night has arrived. The stadium lights shine brighter. Argentina's supporters sing louder. Around the world, millions wait in silence for the referee's whistle. No one knows what will happen next, and that's exactly what makes this moment so special. Whether this becomes another legendary memory or simply another page in his remarkable journey, one thing is certain. Whenever Lionel Messi walks onto a World Cup pitch, the world stops to watch. From a small boy in Rosario facing impossible odds to a football legend admired across the globe, his journey has never been defined by trophies alone. It has been defined by courage, sacrifice, heartbreak, and the determination to keep moving forward when giving up seemed easier. Records may one day be broken. New stars will rise. Football will continue to evolve. But stories like Lionel Messi's are timeless. Because every time he wears the Argentina shirt, he reminds the world that true greatness is not measured only by what you win, it is measured by how many people you inspire along the way. And that is why Lionel Messi's story will continue to live on, long after the final whistle.